Hello, everyone. Welcome to Coaching Think Talk. I am Coach Marife Garfin from Life Coach Philippines, and this is Coaching for Overcoming. This coaching conversation is for individuals and especially parents, calling all the parents who are facing a lot of challenges of all forms in their lives, yet they still want to come out as the best version of themselves. So, thank you for joining me today. My mission is to really be able to spread goodness and love, hope, and peace in the digital space. So please leave your digital footprints by letting us know where you're coming from today. Please do tag a friend and circulate this video to help us reach more individuals who might be in need of what I'm going to be sharing this afternoon. You may also give some shout outs to your friends, yung mga relatives po natin, yung mga perks, barkada, beshes, no? Who want, who may be needing some of your inspiring messages and encouragement. So if you're watching this on a replay, please comment hashtag replay. I am streaming via FB page of Life Coach Philippines and YouTube channel Coach AI Connect. And if you are new to our platform, please like, follow, and subscribe. Okay, so I know some of you may have your lunch already, or some of you may be just having your lunch. And 2 p.m. is quite an unholy hour, no? So you can have your, get your drinks, get your coffee, your tea, or whatever it is that you can munch, probably to keep you awake. So we'll have an interesting discussion this afternoon. Okay, so tayo po ay mag-uusap regarding overcoming wrong assumptions. So a lot of people get into trouble because of wrong assumption. So palagi po tayong nag-assume. Sabi nga dun sa ating mga millennials ngayon, assumera. May mga taong mga assumera, no? So wrong assumption. So yun yung ating ngayong pag-uusapan ngayong hapon. But before that, no, in case this video is shared or if you happen to be new in our space and you're not familiar with me, let me give a brief introduction of myself. I am a professional certified co-actively co-create life coach. I'm also a certified mental health coach. And I am an entrepreneur. I am the owner of and operator of the Healthy Hub by Health and Wellness Coaching Center here in Tacloban City, Leyte, Philippines. No? And this is a place for healthy food and healthy conversation. So if you're an individual who wanted someone to talk to, who wanted someone to be listened to, or if you just want a space where you can just be quiet, read a little, on one corner and just be minding of your own business, it's okay too. So you can drop by, and I'm also give a free discovery call. This is the hub wherein I have my one-on-one coaching session, my group coaching session, and I also do my webinars. I'm now in the second floor of the Healthy Hub. So drop in, and get to know the place, get to know the food, and see how much you can actually be comfortable in this space. Okay. So I am also a Master Builder Apprentice to Master Coach's Master Builder Apprenticeship Program, and we build a tribe as we help your unstoppable dream come true. And I am also a scholar to Master Coach's Six Steps to a Six-Figure Public Speaking Career Training. And I am the founder and the creator of my Nth Attempt to Parenthood. This is a coaching community that seeks to empower every parent to take a stand in mental health for themselves and their children. So I always believe this, no, that mental health begins at home and mental health starts with the parents. Mentally fit parents will definitely be able to nurture and facilitate mentally fit children. So hop in, no, tag some friend, circulate the video, and let us see what we can accomplish this afternoon, no, as we talk about overcoming assumptions. So may mga kaibigan po po tayo dyan na pwede niyong itag, no, itag na ninyo para makasama natin ngayong hapon na ito. Okay? So I hope that you hop in, no, and just join me and just have this afternoon as a learning session for each and every one of us. Okay, so good afternoon again. So let's start, no, let's begin. Okay, let's begin. Are you all excited? Okay, so mga pumapasok pa lang, no, it is such a joy to really be able to see all of you. Now we have Coach Tin De Hoya. Thank you so much, Coach Tin, for joining me. And of course, the mental model collectors, especially the bronze holder, soon they'll be dropping in. No? So let's start and let's begin. No? So let's talk about assumption, wrong assumption. Okay, so every Wednesday at 2 p.m., we are talking about overcoming. We are talking about being able to deal with so many hurdles, so many challenges in life. And it takes a skill, it takes a know how, and it also takes so much empowering for you to be able to do and overcome it. But this is one thing that each and every one of us are capable. Hello, Arlene. Arlene Alvarez from Sun Life. So thank you so much for joining me, Arlene. So, overcoming, yun po ang pag-uusapan. At ngayong hapon na ito, pag-uusapan natin yung overcoming wrong assumption. Sabi ko nga may yung mga, a common term ngayon sa panahong ito no, is yung mga asumera. Okay? So, what is really an assumption and basically a wrong assumption. But basically when you talk about assumption, okay, but before I do that pala, you get your pack my bag moment. So yung pack my bag moment, ito yung you listen and then you concentrate, you focus no on the sharing, and then there will be something in it na parang breakthrough knowledge or something like a aha moment or something na you get excited about, no? At parang na-tickle yung brain mo. You get that phrase and post it in your timeline. So when you do it, you learn much more deeper. And at the same time, you're also able to bless other people who might be needing of what you're going to be sharing. Okay, so good afternoon, Coach Nords from the North, and of course, Coach Tricia Carino from Bicol. Okay, so wrong assumption. Okay, so assumption, ito yung assumption, no? So you look at the slides, no? You look at the sample in the slides, no? Try to read it, okay? So these are all example of assumptions, okay? Yan po ay um, mga sample po ng mga assumption, okay? So can you relate with it? Nakarelate po ba tayo dyan sa ating slide, no? Tingnan ko muna po. So when you talk about assumptions, no, assumptions are it is a thing that is accepted as true or certain to happen without proof. So para sa iyo, it is totoo siya, totoong nagaganap, pero wala kang proof diyan. Okay? So yun yung meaning ng assumption. Okay? So you believe it is true, you think it is true, you know with all conviction, sabi mo sa sarili mo, ito talaga yung nangyari. So that is an assumption, but it is without proof. Okay? So neuroscience explains how personal emotions influence your mindset and making assumption. Okay? So mayroon siyang science behind bakit tayo nag-a-assume. Bakit may mga tao na mga assumera, no? So basically, neuroscience says, okay, it is based on our personal emotion, which influence our mindset, thereby we make assumptions. So assumptions are basically coming from our belief and feelings. Okay? And you project this things to other people. So meron kang probably an experience, meron kang paniniwala, which is true to you, na experience mo. And when you assume, you're actually projecting it to be true also to other people. Okay? So yan yung assumption. Okay. Okay, so um, according to um, according to some people, no, um, this can cause a lot of troubles and problems for other people because when there is assumption, people tend to jump into conclusion because we are seeing or you are seeing or the person is seeing things through his or her perception. So kung ang isang tao nag-a-assume, there's a tendency to jump into conclusion. Okay? To jump into conclusion kasi yung tingin mo doon sa situation is galing sa iyong pananaw. Okay? So how many times have you been upset when your friends does not see things the way you see it? 'Di ba meron nagkukuwento tayo sa ating kaibigan, tapos nakakainis 'di ba kasi hindi siya naniniwala or parang feeling natin hindi siya nag-agree with you, no? Kaibigan mo pa naman siya, no? Tapos hindi man lang siya parang he's not supporting you. So yun yung atin, no? Hindi tayo sinusuportahan kasi yung kanyang paniniwala, uh, his or her perception is uh, not in alignment with the way we see things. So when we share an idea to that person and your friend or that person does not agree with us, naiinis tayo. Kasi nga, yung perception niya is iba sa atin. Di ba? So when we are speaking, when we are talking, we kind of assume, no, na yung tao nag-agree sa ating paniniwala or the way we see things. Okay? So have you also been in a conversation that before your friend is over in talking, you already have something in mind to say? Sino yung nakaka-relate dyan? 'Di ba? Nagkikwento siya sa atin, tapos meron na tayong na-form na mga ideas dyan na gusto na natin siyang sabihan, no, na sandali, sandali, ito. Okay, so how many of us, I'm guilty with that, no? And I have to really be mindful because assumption will not really be helpful for anyone. Okay? So, ito yung nangyayari, no? You get upset, feeling mo, kinokontra ka ng isang tao kasi hindi niya nakikita yung perception mo. And you assume, nag-assume ka na maintindihan ka niya. If you look at the slide, so sabi ng isang hairdresser, no? I love it. This is perfect for you. This style is the latest trend. So nag-assume yung hairdresser, no, or yung barbero. But the customer said, I hate it. And I said I wanted a little trim, not the latest trend. And a lot of times it happens, no, if you go to the parlor, sabi mo magpapatrim ka lang, tapos nabigla ka, short na yung hair mo. 'Di ba, nainis ka? There is already that assumption. May assumption na kasi na nangyayari dyan. O nag-assume siya na ito magustuhan mo, ito yung latest, hindi kanya tinanong. Kaya nagkaroon ng struggle yung brain mo at nainis ka, no? So, this is one example of assumption, no? Ito yung mga nangyayari when there is assumption. So, assumption is a preconceived notion that it is preconceived notion that is grounded in your experiences. Nag-assume ka, no, dahil na-experience mo kasi. So for example, you have baked something, no, excited ka, you made a pizza, tapos nilagay mo lahat ng sabi doon sa recipe, no, sa recipe book, ito yung mga gagawin mo. But all of a sudden, your pizza doesn't taste like pizza. And you kind of feel that it's a failure. Okay? So, you also assume, no? Pag may magtanong na kaibigan sa'yo, sasabihin sa'yo, friend, ito, magbibake ako ng pizza, ito gagawin ko. Nako, alam mo, hindi rin yan nangyayari. Kasi yung sa akin, ganito kasing nangyari, di ba? We are used to that. Type mo ba ito, friend? Ay, naku, nung sa aking panahon, hindi maganda naman yan eh. Hindi talaga, the brand is not good, di ba? Magsasabi tayo ng ganyan. So, we assume. But little we know that there are many variables involved. It could be in the way, the time you made the crust, the time you put, and the brand of the ingredient that you're using. So there is so many variables in it. But we kind of put our experience already upon the person who is asking us. So, but the problem so much with assumption is that you believe it is correct. You believe that it is correct, yet it might also be false. Okay, it might also be false. So how many of you, mga kindred coach, can relate with this one? No, now there are so many times. That's why we have to be mindful when we are speaking out our opinions, our thoughts, because we might be in an assumption or nag-assume na po tayo. Okay, so this preconceived notion such as an assumption, no, may lead you to an extremely negative and critical opinion about other people. So I do remember, especially noong mga unang panahon, no, sasabihin ng ating mga lola at lolo, wag muna kayong mga boyfriend kasi nga makamagbuntis, makapag-asawa. So, nandun. Okay? So, there's already an assumption na pag ikaw ay magka-boyfriend, you might get into an early marriage. Well, there is also naman a percentage of certain truth to it, but it will never be true to each and every one. That's why it is not good to really assume. And oftentimes, when we are assuming, when we have a preconceived notion, marami tayong opinion, no, that may be critical already for other people. Kaya yung iba, hindi na makasmile, hindi makakain. Yo. I had this assumption no, that yung magandang pamilya dapat pag nakain talaga ay prim and proper. No? Dapat alam mo, pag tayo mo, ano yung kalagay ng kubyertos. So feeling ko, pag hindi yan nakuha ng mga bata, it will not help them, it will not help them no as they face the public, as they be in the social in the in with other people, they might be laughed at. So ganun yung perception ko. Kaya I always correct and correct to the point, no? So mga parents na nakikinig, I always correct and correct to the point na nahirapan na yung mga bata kumain na. Wala nang joy yung kain. Kaya I have to really like, ano nga ba yung importante? Yung sasabihin ng ibang tao o yung bonding namin or yung being who we are in our own homes. Because yun ang pinaka-difficult no when you cannot be who you are in your own home. So assumption have that, no? Kasi nga naisip natin baka pagtawanan. Eh, hindi pa naman nangyayari. We just simply assume because we have that experience in our mind. Okay? So yan ang assumption. Okay? So sabi nga ni Albert Einstein, assumptions are made and most assumptions are wrong. Kasi nga hindi pa naman siya na-test. So you have to remember that Einstein is into research. So anything na hypothesis may naisip siya, itinitest niya talaga yan. He would go into the details, he would check on the different variables, no, ano, bakit nasabi, bakit ito yung aking idea, what will prove it, and what will not prove it. Okay? Ano yung positive at negative on this. And Albert Einstein will do some research, no, and will come up with really a breakthrough. No? But assumption is something that you made and most often wrong siya kasi nga you relied on it without even proof. Okay, without even proof. So that's assumption. Okay, and you have to remember that assumption and reality do not sleep in the same bed. Okay? Assumption and reality do not sleep in the same bed. Ibig pong sabihin, they are on the opposite side. So when you assume, you cannot you cannot think that is this is reality. So there's always two things. So when you have an idea, you're assuming of something. Think, is this truly the reality, or is this is just my assumption? So magkaiba po talaga sila, and this can cause a lot of conflict, no? A lot of conflict in the workplace, especially no pag sinasabi natin na naku nagalit siya siguro ganito may mga problema siya. So we have that assumption, and I've learned my lessons with that, no? I've learned my lessons never to really assume. Sometimes then pag may gustong-gusto kang I remember growing up, no, meron tayong crush, tapos nag-smile sa atin, feeling natin mutual. Pero habang hindi nagsasabi yung lalaki, no, na, hi, I really like you, then you cannot assume. You cannot assume that the person truly like you. No? Kaya nga, importante, no, na before two people declare no, that they are in a relationship, dapat talaga nag-usap sila. No? Klarong-klaro yun. Kasi nga may mga nag-a-assume, nagagalit na, hindi, bakit siya nagagalit? Hindi ko naman siya boyfriend. Mga ganun, no? So that's an assumption that can happen to anyone, no? And it is something na that we need to truly understand. We can never assume. Dapat lang talaga magtanong tayo. Yes, Coach Rizal, assuming, no? Parang assuming lang. And I do remember a friend was really crying, no? Sabi niya, bakit hindi niya ako pinapansin? Dati naman, ganyan-ganyan. Sabi ko, ano ba kayo was there a formal proposal, nagsabi ba siya sa iyo, sinabi ba niyang kayo na? Wala, pero ano man dinadalaw naman niya ako sa aking dinadalaw naman niya kasi ako sa bahay, tapos tinatawagan niya ako. So nag-assume siya na they are, they were they're supposed to be an item, but they're not. No, the guy was just simply needing a friend to talk to. Ang sakit, no? But well, that's the lesson that we need to understand, that we can never, never truly assume. Okay? So how do we, how do we overcome this? This is very important because it will bring, no, it will really cause a lot of conflict, a lot of rift, especially when you assume nasa office kayo and you assume, no, na sinabi mo sa hindi mo binigyan ng isang directive yung isang tao, sinabi mo ito dapat ito yung report and this will be you kind of feel like naintindihan naman niya or gets niya yon. But there are people, hindi niya kayang i-gets yun. There are people who cannot read in between the lines, no? There are people who are gifted that they can, they can just simply read. But there are people who cannot. So you have to really be able to explain. And a lot of struggles, no? There are a lot of struggles in the house with the parents, no? Oftentimes, especially with parents, no? We kind of assume because we kind of assume that our children understand the things that we're saying, but we're not actually speaking to them in black and white. We've never really been frank about it. So I remember a parent asking me, how do I get my child, unhooked doon sa cellphone? And then, tas nagagalit siya kung tinatanggalan yung cellphone because I believe, according to the mom, I believe hindi na siya nag-aaral ng mabuti. So I have to ask the parent, no, if when you gave the phone to your child, did you have a discussion why the phone is being given to him or her? And then if hindi siya, if he or if your child will not really focus on school, if it is part of your agreement, no, did your child understand the repercussion if you are if hindi siya mag-aaral ng mabuti. So were you able to discuss it with your child that this would be okay, this would be if I'm giving you the phone, but if you are not going to, if I see that you're not using your time, you're using more of your time in the phone rather than studying, one of the rules is that I will now get the phone back. So did you ever explain it? So that's one thing. No, as parents, we can never truly assume. There are certain rules that we do in our house, no, that our parents have passed on to us, and we kind of believe that our children understood it. But hey, our children are living in a different era. And oftentimes than not, we assume that they also understand and they see things the way we see. And so we get disappointed. We get angry when they do not do things the way we expected it. And so assumption is not very helpful. It can cause conflict. It can cause you to be very critical with other people. And so we need to be able to overcome it. Okay? So what are the different steps, no? What are the different steps to overcome it? So let me share to you some of it, okay? And I think there's five of it, okay, that let me share with you. What are the tips to overcome assumption? First is to live in the moment. Live in the moment. Ano yung ibig sabihin ng live in the moment, no? Oftentimes, especially if you meet someone, no, may mga tao talaga that when we meet them, we're kind of not comfortable. Or they project a certain, like, there is something in them that would trigger a thought. And while I'm studying now together with the rest of the coaches of Life Coach Philippines, no, yung aming mga tribe learners, um, we are studying now trauma. And trauma can have that imprint in our brain that when there is a trigger, when there's a similar situation that we are encountering, our mind actually recalls it, and even and oftentimes than not, it is in our subconscious, and we are not actually aware of this. And this might lead us to assumption or preconceived notion. So be alert of this, be mindful about this, to simply live in the moment. So, kung ano yung nandyan, if you're talking to someone or you met someone, talk to the person and just simply take the person as who he is at the present time na kilala mo siya. Because a lot of times, marami na tayong iniisip behind. We kind of guess, we come into a conclusion, and it is now never really helpful. Okay? So live in the moment, okay, and discover the person for who he is doon sa'yo. Kasi minsan may naririnig na tayo, di ba? May naririnig tayong kwento on that particular person. And so hindi na natin nabigyan ng chance yung tao. Baka naman, there were really some variables na nangyari, may mga hindi tayong alam na details why things happen to be that way. And so nag-a-assume tayo. So live in the moment and when so that you can avoid assumption and discover people, discover situation in your present time and your present space, because often dala na that's why when we are coaching, no, when we are with a client, especially if you are handling or coaching children, no, it's okay not, first and foremost we'd rather be able to talk immediately, or unahin namin kausapin yung bata before the parent. So, para yung wala kaming biases, no? Because usually, assumption comes from our biases because of our experiences from the past. Okay? So, may mga cognitive biases tayo dyan. So, live in the moment and discover the person and the situation uh, now in your current or present state. Okay? So, next tip to overcome assumption is look at that picture. Oftentimes and not, we look at people and we kind of form already a preconceived notion of who he is. Okay? So, don't be too quick to judge. Don't be too quick to judge. Things are not as they appear to be. And a lot of times, there are so many things na pinoproject, no, ng isang tao, pero that's not really who the person is. Okay? It's not really who the person is. So we are programmed actually. Why is it that we are not to judge, no? Not to be too quick to judge, because we are programmed to look at our own life to form an assumption. Did you get that? We are programmed to look at our own life to form an assumption. So don't be too quick to judge. Okay? Sometimes, no, um, there are so much, may mga tao talaga na, because when we listen to a lot of, inputs and a lot of feedbacks, no, or criticism from other people, it kind of leads, no, kaya it's important then to be really in a good space, in a good habitat, where you're only hearing positive things, you'll be lifted up. Because when you are with people who are negative, no, in thoughts, there's having difficulty. Well, you know, as they say, you are the average of the five people you're with. So it rubs off on you. So if you don't want to be able to to quickly judge people, then get out of a how do you say, a habitat wherein people are always, people more in the space tend to judge quickly. Okay? And then thirdly, find out the truth. So there are so many things, no, in like in one scenario or in one situation or in one issue, there will be like, unless the person speak out, you will actually not know the truth. But there will be so many people's opinion. There will be a lot of people who will be speaking a lot of thoughts and their opinions about a certain situation or a certain event or activity. No? And so one has to avoid assumption, one has to have the whole story. Have the whole story. And so you might need, if you're just too concerned about it because it really is affecting you, then you may ask directly the person involved, do some research, find out the truth. Have the whole story before you speak your mind. And if it's not, even part of your life, and if it's not even harming you, and if it's not, impacting the universe or impacting the environment or impacting your family and everything, no, we have so much of struggles on our own. God has given us our own path. Maybe we need to mind our own path. But if we kind of feel like, especially if you're the boss, no, before doing an assumption, before coming into a conclusion, before jumping yourself into a preconceived notion, find out the truth. Find out the truth. Never judge, especially if you're not a judge. It's not your work. Okay. So it's always no. If it like really you wanted really the truth out of it, then you can just do an investigation. Be in details in it. Confront reality rather than making an assumption. Next is grow yourself. So when you are learning, your perspective change and you become more aware of who you are, and then you learn to be mindful. You learn to be mindful of yourself, of your emotion, and you learn to be mindful of other people. So growth is very important. A lot of people, uh, growth from learning. A lot of people, it's okay to be contented. It's okay to accept, what you have. But I believe, no, this is one thing, I believe always that God has given us the whole lifetime, the whole of our lifetime until He calls us back, until He calls us back to be with Him. We have the whole lifetime to grow ourselves, and so we need to continuously learn. We need to discover the skills, discover the talents that we have, because until our deathbed, we are given a mission and a purpose to touch someone else's lives. And so we need to be able to grow ourselves. When we are growing ourselves, we will have no time of minding other people's business. Okay? When we are growing ourselves, we see things in a wide view, in a wide perspective. And so nakikita na mo na yung pros and cons, the benefit of things, and you're able to have solid, solid, okay, strong decision making. So you're able to choose between one thought over the other. Because if you're not growing, you become fickle minded. Pabago-bago yung isip mo. Because in the first place, you do not really know what you want and what you truly like. Kaya pabago-bago. So it's very important that you continuously grow as a person. So you need to engage yourself in learning. Okay, learn. God has given us, as I've said, a lifetime to discover ourselves, to know what we really want, and how we can bless other people with the gifts that we have. Okay, so it creates so much uh, insecurity when we are not growing, when we are not learning. We have that nag-grow siya because basically our design is to grow until we discover the purpose that God has for us. So continuously grow yourself, okay, so that you will have much more stronger, way of thinking, and so you will not fall into an assumption, okay. And then lastly is empathize. Okay, oftentimes, no, when we are in a judgmental attitude, it is a breeding ground for conflict. It creates tension. And oftentimes we miss opportunities because we judge things. We judge things before we even experience it. Okay? Nandun tayo dun. So rather of judging, why not work on empathy? So when you hear people judging other people, okay, you can simply like pull yourself a little bit, okay, be mindful, and simply take a deep breath and pray, no? Pray that you will not be consumed by it. So work in empathy. So empathy is being able to feel what the other person is feeling, feeling. It's like putting on the shoes of the other person. So naintindihan. And so when you are assuming of other people, try to put yourself on the side. Would you like also to be a product of an assumption of other people? Or would you rather be given the opportunity to be discovered and discovered and be how do you call it, be given an effort, no, to really like get to know you, okay, or get to know the situation, okay. So that's it. Those are the five. Of course, this is not the hard five rules, no, of overcoming assumption. But you can begin with this, and of course, definitely, if you have other experience, then you can add to it. Okay. So live in the moments. That's the first thing, no. Okay. Let me recap this. Tips to overcome assumption is live in the moment. Ibig sabihin, discover the person, set aside whatever it is that you've heard, and live in the moment, or discover the truth for yourself in the moment. Then not don't be too quick to judge about other people, and find out the truth, the whole story, if it truly matters to you and it's really like causing you so much headache, no? Na gusto mo talagang you want to get to the bottom of it, and don't assume, just find the truth, grow yourself, and then empathize. It's very important that we be able to be in this space, no? To be able to be in this space, as as Christ said, no, we are our brother's keeper, and we are ought to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. And so when we are assuming about other people, or we're assuming a certain situation, we're not able to translate those commandments of the Lord. Okay? So it would be good not to really like grow ourselves, to really be mindful if we are already in the assumption phase. Okay? So according to this, by Don Miguel Ruiz, don't make assumptions. Find the courage to ask questions. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and trauma. Kasi nga, it breeds conflict and tension. No? With just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. That's why in life coaching, we have to be able to talk to the person. Whenever a parent would text me and say, I need help for my child, ganito na kasi nangyari sa mga bata, I would say, give my number to your child or to your daughter, to your son, and let your son call me. Let your son dial this number so that we can have a conversation. I would like to hear it firsthand with a person. Because as I've said, we have so many biases already. Kasi nga marami na tayong experiences, no? We have so many experiences that clouds us. And it has an imprint in our brain. And so whenever we project, whenever we react, oftentimes and not, it's not really objective kasi nanggagaling siya sa 95% of the subconscious. But when you sit down, when you receive something, a news, an opinion, when you sit down and kind of think about it, totoo ba ito, ito ba? You're now using the 5% of your brain, your frontal lobe, no? So you're using that. So, but oftentimes and not, it's the subconscious. Yun yung reflex. Because it comes from so many storage of experiences. And experiences can be good or bad. Okay, so maka-cloud po tayo. Kaya it's very important that you better ask questions if you have something in your mind and if you want to clarify something. In that way, you'll be able to transform. There will be less and less of criticism. There will be less of negative, energy in your body. And so you're able to project and you're able to share more from a beautiful overflow than from the negative one. Okay? Now, if you want to have a deeper conversation with that, how you can journey out of assumption, or if you want to grow as a person, and you want to be mindful, or if you want to really like grow and learn, and you want to set goals, well, let's talk. Connect with me. Now, let's have a conversation. As I've said, I'm here in Healthy Hub by Health and Wellness Coaching Center. You can just PM me. Let's have a discovery call. Let's have a conversation, and let us see where it can lead you. You might be able to discover your goals. You might be able to discover how to achieve your bucket list. We never truly know. But one thing that I know is that you and I are designed for a purpose and a reason. And along with it, God has given us the capability to achieve it. So if you have that dreams in your heart, and if you are closely walking with the Lord, then it might be something that we need to look into. Baka yun yung papunta sa purpose mo. So let's have a conversation. Now, let me invite parents, no? If you're having some, if you want it, no? If you're a young mom and you have young children, and you want to ensure that they will grow up to have a very strong mental health, no? Mental health, like a positive mental health that will allow them to thrive in life, and you want to be able to help ensure that by creating a safe space for them, then join me in What Matters Understanding Your Kids. This is a coaching workshop this coming Saturday at 2 p.m. So connect with me. Yes, it has um, a learning investment, because what you're going to be learning in this workshop requires commitment for the sake of the future of the future, though, and the generation that we are handling now, who will be our future. And if you're a parent who cannot connect with your child, you're having difficulty understanding why your child think this way, bakit ganun yung pagre-react niya, bakit hindi niya ako maintindihan, why I can't understand my child, this is also a workshop for you. Because in here, we're going to be talking about understanding your own uniqueness, and also we will look into your child's uniqueness. We will talk about the generation gap, so that you'll be able to learn and understand how to communicate with your child in the level that they are in. And then you will come out, no? You will come out with a step by step action plan to ensure a safe space with your child. So this is the workshop that you need to attend this coming November 20 at 2 p.m. And if you have anyone you know who are really struggling right now with their kids, suffering from either depression, suffering from, in school, from bullying, and so many other things, no, mental health challenges, this is also a wonderful workshop for them to really be empowered and have that inner no strength within them. So connect them with me and let them attend and have the opportunity to really learn. Because this workshop is a lump of the three workshops I've attended from Master Coaching. And it has helped me to guide my children. In fact, it is the one I'm using to guide my children so that they can recover from depression. So we're now in journeying through healing and recovery. And it is my heart's desire that other parents, committed parents, ready parents, to really fight it out for their child, to come in with me, learn with me. And this also comes with a free coaching session as a follow up after the workshop. Okay? And let me invite each and every one of you. So this is our mental model masterclass. So if before I end this conversation, let me invite you what we are doing as an organization of professional certified life coaches. If you are not yet a smart holder of the B Learning card and you are still missing all the perks that we are enjoying today, okay, so this is the best time to make a decision. Okay? So, to take action, ngayon na po. Connect with Coach Rizal through 0917-586-1661 to join the B Learning Society, the 10th maker of B Learning for mental fitness. So, kung makikita niyo po sa slide, there's a beautiful building in there. That is our desire. That is what we want to build so that our children will be able to have a mentally fit, okay? Mentally fit um, will have a mentally fit generation. So gagawin po yan. It's a home that will truly promote mentally fit generation. So for a cause po ito. Okay, so join us. That is our desire in Life Coach Philippines with our Master Coach A. No? So as you become part of the B Learning Society, you get that B Learning e-card. You enjoy 5% food and beverage discount. From Decaf Coffee Republic, and you can get a full access pass to Mental Model Masterclass by Master Coach A, happening every fourth Saturday of the month uh, plus a benefit of a 90-minute, free 90-minute coaching session with senior coaches from Life Coach Philippines. Okay? And so save the date this coming October 30 at 7 p.m. for our next mental model masterclass. Master Coach will teach us about the thought leadership. This is a mental model. So we will uncover the hidden power inside the mind of Jeff Bezos. And if you're not aware of Jeff Bezos, he is the founder, he's the creator, he's the owner of the Amazon. So sikat na po yung Amazon, no? That's the online store. Okay, and he will he will teach us about inside the mind of Jeff Bezos. Okay, so this is something that we are really like being. I'm always excited about before Saturday of the month because I'm learning different mental models. And when we are born into this world, we have that different mental. We have already our own mental models, as influenced by society and as influenced by our caregivers and the people in our space, and that's what we carry with us when we act, when we see things, when we perceive things, which is also contributing to our assumptions, no? Yung mga mental model na yan. But when you are learning the different mental models, you get to be more mindful and you get to see, ano nga ba, with this goal and with this situation, what mental model can I use? And so it really helps us on a day-to-day basis. So for more or information and registration, if you want to sit with us, let me invite you, no? To sit with me, be my classmate on November 27 inside the mind of Jeff Bezos. This is the mental model masterclass. So connect with Coach Rizal through 0917-586-1661. And again, let me invite individuals who intend to embark on a journey of becoming a professional certified life coach. Master Coach now offers a co-actively co-create life coach certification program. It's really a dream, no? It's really my dream that will have each home will have a life coach, each institution will have a life coach, each church will have a life coach. Like really, every organization should have one, okay? Because the process is really empowering. So if you want to embark on becoming a certified life coach, join us in Co-Actively Co-Create Life Coach Certification Program. This is CPD accredited course with 40 credits unit. So kung ikaw ay may PRC at gusto mo mag-renew ng license, this is a best way to get your CPD. CPD is all about learning new things or refreshing your knowledge by doing new things, and this what makes CSCC Life Coach Certification Program the perfect track for your continuing the personal professional development. Life coaching is a 21st century learning experience that is empowering professionals to enhance, okay, their skills in multiple domains. Hindi lang po nag-iisa. Okay, and thereby increasing the relevance in increasingly complex workplace. The world is becoming complex and complex. And so when you are certified as a life coach, when you know the tools and the skills of a life coach, it allows you to walk and maneuver yourself in this new landscape, especially work landscape, because you have been empowered in your mindset and you look at things in a different perspective. You're more powerful and you're more appreciative of who you are, and you're more appreciative of the design God has for you. Okay, so you can start this with 5,000, no? Because this is a 21-day online learning journey. There is also a 3-day live coaching boot camp and a 3-day live business boot camp with senior coaches of Life Coach Philippines. So if you're interested to start, 5,000 po yung start. Connect with Coach Rizal through 0917-586-1661. Okay, so there are so many perks in here. So the program package have so many bonuses. So don't daily dally, no? Do it. I, for one, can attest with that. This, I am a life coach and I have been doing life coaching, and all of us in the family, my kids, me and my husband, went into a life coaching process, and it truly, truly worked. So it transforms us and it allows us to expand us. And that's why my family, in spite of two having clinically diagnosed with depression, are moving from healing. No, we're moving through healing and recovery. Okay, so join us for another run of this. Connect with Coach Rizal through 0917-586-1661. So thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. Okay, I hope you've learned, and do join us for another coaching conversation later with Coach Tricia Carino from Bicol. Okay, for another coaching conversation. And this time, it's coaching for mental models. Okay, that will be at 4 p.m. So if you want to keep on learning, it's a decision that you need to choose, and you can have it. You can hop in every coaching think talk 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 4 p.m. And this afternoon, it's the different mental models which you can apply in your daily life. Okay, so 4 p.m. po, hop in with Coach Tricia. So once again, this is Coach Marife Garfin from Life Coach Philippines. This is Coaching Think Talk. Coaches like us think and talk like this. This is us in the Philippines. Love, bomb, boom. Love, bomb, boom. Love, bomb, boom. God bless everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.